Julie Andrews is a special person who brings joy to others wherever she goes. Just hearing her name can bring happiness to people. Her grace, lovely voice, and kindness have made her popular worldwide. She has had an amazing career, performing on Broadway and starring in iconic films. She started her career in theater, where her innate talent immediately captivated everyone. Her voice was like sunshine, and her presence illuminated the stage, making her a star in no time. Early in her career, she shone in unforgettable roles on Broadway, portraying Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady and Queen Guinevere in Camelot. These roles were not just performances, they were showcases of Julie's unique talent. Her singing, acting, and stage presence showed that she had a rare gift, the ability to deeply touch people. Soon after, Hollywood became interested in Julie. When they approached her, she accepted a role that would have a huge impact: Mary Poppins. In this 1964 Disney movie, she showcased her magical talents to the world. Portraying the cheerful and wise nanny, she captivated audiences of all ages. Her award-winning performance as Mary Poppins earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress, solidifying her status as a true star in the eyes of many. Mary Poppins was more than just a film. It was a huge hit worldwide, and a big part of that success was because of Julie Andrews. Her charming facial expressions, elegant gestures, and friendly personality brought the character to life in a way that people remember for years. Whether you were a kid or an adult, seeing Julie play Mary Poppins made you feel like magic was real. In 1965, Julie Andrews starred in The Sound of Music, a year after her success in Mary Poppins. Julie portrayed the character Maria von Trapp with her lively singing and spirited personality, bringing joy and love to the audience. The film became a beloved classic and one of the highest-grossing movies ever. Songs like Do Re Mi and My Favorite Things from the film became popular and cherished by children worldwide. Julie's performance in The Sound of Music touched the hearts of millions and left a lasting impact. As she became more successful in movies, Julie Andrews' musical talent remained exceptional. She has always been famous for her flawless singing voice. Whether she sang cheerful songs in Mary Poppins or emotional melodies in The Sound of Music, people could always recognize her voice. It wasn't just about singing the correct pitches. It was about the emotions she conveyed through her singing. Her voice was gentle, strong, and full of feeling. It brought joy to many and added a special sparkle to every show. Julie faced some challenges in life, including a health issue that affected her singing voice. This was particularly difficult for her, as she had built her career around her voice. Despite this setback, Julie persevered and discovered new ways to showcase her talents and passion for storytelling. She transitioned into voice acting, where she lent her voice to animated characters, bringing joy to audiences in a fresh way. One of her famous roles was as Queen Clarice Rinaldi in The Princess Diaries. This character helped her gain new followers and proved that her charm and talent were still strong. Julie demonstrated bravery by persevering through tough times, revealing her inner strength. Despite challenges, she was able to adjust and spread happiness to others, which made her even more motivating. Her resilience showed that true stars continue to shine in any situation. Julie's life outside of acting and performing is also quite remarkable. She has a strong affection for children that extends beyond her work in movies. For many years, she has been involved in various initiatives to improve the lives of children. Her compassion and concern for young ones shine through in all her actions. Her ultimate goal is to ensure every child feels secure, cared for, and optimistic about the future. Julie started writing to connect with children in a unique way. She has authored numerous children's books, sometimes collaborating with her daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton. Their stories are full of love, creativity, and meaningful messages. In books like The Very Fairy Princess and Mandy, they encourage kids to dream big, show kindness, and have self-belief. Every story is like a heartfelt present, crafted with care and affection. However, Julie doesn't just focus on books. She also advocates for children's education, health, and rights. Julie has been a supporter of organizations like Save the Children, advocating for children facing difficult circumstances. She is a strong supporter of reading and literacy. Julie thinks that books can make a difference in people's lives and help children succeed. She has worked with groups like First Book and the National Literacy Trust to provide books to kids who may not have them. She is dedicated to ensuring that every child can experience the joy of reading. Julie still remembers the importance of arts. She backs arts education and assists kids in finding pleasure in music and theater. She experienced firsthand how crucial the arts were in her life and now wants to pass on that happiness to others. Through school activities and concerts geared towards children, Julie keeps motivating aspiring artists and dreamers for the future. Let's look into the professional relationship between Andrews and Christopher. When the curtains rose. When the sound of music is on the screen, the connection between Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer seems very genuine and friendly, making it seem like they were close friends from the start. Their scenes together are smooth and their smiles appear real. However, if you dig deeper, the story behind their relationship is quite different. In the early 1960s, Julie Andrews became a popular star after winning an Oscar for her role in Mary Poppins. Her performance made her highly respected in Hollywood for her kindness, grace, and professionalism. On the other hand, Christopher Plummer was known for his work in serious theater, enjoying roles with profound emotions and classical drama. He wasn't enthusiastic about being in a musical that had upbeat songs and cheerful children. When filming started in Salzburg, Austria, Plummer was not excited about it. He thought the story was too sentimental and did not feel a strong connection to his character as Captain Von Trapp. He even had a negative nickname for the movie, indicating his lack of enthusiasm. He found the character to be rigid and boring, and sometimes his demeanor reflected his lack of enjoyment. Julie consistently brought her usual kindness and energy to work every day, wanting things to run smoothly and making an effort to be friendly. However, her bright and bubbly personality was overwhelming for someone like Plummer, who was accustomed to intense drama and serious sets. Initially, he didn't know how to respond to her sweetness and chose to keep his distance. But a change started to happen. As they worked together more, especially in scenes where they had to act loving and close, they began to see each other in a new light. Gradually, the distance between them began to disappear. What originally began as awkward silence evolved into friendly banter. They started to enjoy each other's company, teasing and sharing inside jokes. Their professional relationship gradually blossomed into a true friendship as they spent more time together. Julie acknowledged that although they got along well, Plummer could sometimes be unpredictable in his behavior. Despite his occasional mood swings, she found ways to deal with them calmly and gracefully. There were rumors of a playful flirtation between them, but it was nothing more than harmless banter. Their bond was built on trust, mutual respect, and enjoyable moments. After finishing The Sound of Music, any disagreements between the two stars disappeared. They remained good friends for the rest of their lives, frequently attending events and reunions together with happiness and private jokes. Their close relationship was special and strong, based on truth, admiration, and years of companionship. In 2021, Julie Andrews was very sad when Christopher Plummer passed away. She thought of him fondly and described him as a close and intelligent friend. Their relationship began uncertainty, but became strong over time. However, this was not the only time in Julie's life where she showed grace and strength to overcome disappointment. Prior to starring in The Sound of Music, Julie was already making a name for herself on stage. She received acclaim for her performance as Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady, with audiences loving her singing, acting, and presence. With her success in the stage version, it was expected that she would be cast in the film adaptation as well. However, things did not turn out as expected. The studio decided to cast Audrey Hepburn instead. Audrey was already a famous and beloved star, with a sophisticated image worldwide. Unfortunately, she was not able to sing the songs mandated for the role. As a result, another vocalist was brought in to sing most of her parts, even though Julie Andrews, who had performed the role flawlessly on stage, was not even considered for the role. Some people thought that Rex Harrison, who portrayed Professor Henry Higgins, may have had an impact on the decision. He had worked with Julie Andrews on stage, but he remained in the movie adaptation while she was replaced. Some people speculated that he didn't want to work with her again, or that he didn't think she had the right image for a movie star. Despite the rumors, Julie Andrews never expressed any negativity towards him. She didn't react with anger or gossip about others. Instead, she gracefully moved on to a new opportunity. In that year, she had a leading role in Mary Poppins and gave a truly enchanting performance. She brought happiness, emotion, and skill to the movie. Her portrayal won her the Best Actress Oscar. As she stood on stage with her award, Audrey Hepburn, who had previously played the role, was not even up for nomination. It probably felt like a satisfying win for Julie, not because others didn't succeed, but because she stayed true to herself. She didn't have to bring others down. Her talent, kindness, and hard work helped her succeed on her accord. Rex Harrison won an Oscar for his role in My Fair Lady, but there were rumors about his difficult personality. Some people claimed he was tough to work with and didn't treat his co-stars well. It is unclear if he had a role in Julie being replaced. Perhaps in old Hollywood, image was more important than talent. But Andrew had other relationships in her life as a star. Let's look into it. Before Julie Andrews became famous for her roles in Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music, she was in love with Tony Walton. They were both teenagers in England when their love story began. Tony was a talented artist, and Julie was gaining recognition for her singing and acting abilities. Julie's career in the West End and later on Broadway was thriving, and throughout it all, Tony was by her side as her biggest cheerleader. He not only supported her, but also worked behind the scenes, coming up with designs and ideas. Together, they made a creative duo filled with enthusiasm and potential. They tied the knot in 1959 when everything seemed to be going perfectly. Julie was the lead in My Fair Lady, while Tony was finding success in the theater and design industry. In 1962, a daughter named Emma was born to them. Life was going well for a time. They were succeeding in their jobs while also raising their child. Their relationship seemed to have a good mix of love, creativity, and drive. Julie was achieving great success, especially after winning an Oscar for Mary Poppins in 1964, and then gaining worldwide fame with The Sound of Music in 1965. Her popularity was increasing, and her life was transforming quickly. With their fame, they had to take on more work and deal with increased attention, leaving them with less time for each other. The demands of Hollywood were overwhelming, leading to constant traveling and busy schedules that kept them apart. Although they still loved each other, their fast-paced lives made it difficult to maintain a strong connection. In 1968, they made the mutual decision to go their separate ways. The breakup was amicable and drama-free, as they chose to part ways on good terms and continued to co-parent Emma with love and respect. Julie always spoke fondly of Tony, reminiscing about their time together filled with love and support. Despite ending her marriage to Tony, Julie's love story continued with a new chapter that started in a unique and funny way. During the late 1960s, Julie met director Blake Edwards while they were both on their way to therapy sessions. They spotted each other from their cars, which was an unusual first meeting but ultimately led to a strong and long-lasting bond. Although their initial encounter was awkward, there was an instant connection between them. In 1969, Julie and Blake got married. Their love was not just a brief, exciting romance, but something more profound. They stayed together for 41 years, which is a long time in Hollywood. Blake was a well-known director by then, famous for movies like Breakfast at Tiffany's and the Pink Panther series. Julie was also very successful, captivating the world with her elegant charm. Together, they were a resilient and motivating couple. However, their relationship faced challenges along the way. Blake struggled with both depression and alcoholism, which not only impacted him, but also the people close to him. Julie remained by his side throughout these challenges, showing her loyalty and commitment. Instead of leaving when things got tough, she stayed, showed compassion, and put in her best effort. In return, Blake also supported Julie when she encountered obstacles in her life. Their relationship went beyond flashy events, as it was founded on love, empathy, and the ability to bounce back from adversity. In the 1970s, they grew their family by adopting 2 daughters from Vietnam. Their home was now bustling with kids from their past and present lives. The household included Julie's daughter Emma, Blake's children from a previous relationship, and their 2 adopted daughters, making it a happy and energetic place. Their residence was characterized by creativity, a caring attitude, and a great sense of humor. They also collaborated on projects in their careers. Julie acted in a few of Blake's movies, such as Victor Victoria in 1985. This movie provided Julie with the opportunity to experiment with something different and daring. It allowed her to move away slightly from her previous polished image and showcase various aspects of her talent. Their professional relationship was just as strong as their personal one. They had a deep trust in each other, and this trust was evident in the work they produced together. Blake passed away in 2010. Julie still talks about him with great love, remembering the happiness, challenges, and strong connection they had. Their relationship wasn't flawless, but it was genuine and enduring. It was complex, strong, and based on respect, laughter, and a firm dedication to each other. The golden voice of Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews was famous as Britain's youngest leading lady, and her singing voice captured the attention of many. She had a high-pitched, vibrant voice that stood out for its clarity and liveliness. People could tell from a young age that there was something unique about her singing style. Her voice was trained in the classical tradition and had a pure, sweet quality that seemed almost enchanting. When Julie was young, a doctor who specializes in throats checked her and found something amazing. He said that Julie's voice box, also known as a larynx, was almost fully grown, similar to that of an adult. This allowed her voice to be powerful and well-controlled, far beyond what is typically expected at her age. As a result, she was able to hit high notes effortlessly, making her shine among other young singers. Julie was being trained by a vocal coach named Lillian Stiles Allen, who was a soprano singer herself. Lillian recognized Julie's talent and pushed her to pursue a career in opera. She believed Julie had the abilities to succeed as an opera singer. Despite others seeing her as a fit for grand opera stages, Julie personally did not think her voice suited opera. She believed her voice was high-pitched and somewhat lacking in depth. Unlike opera singers who require a strong, deep voice, she felt that opera was not the right fit for her natural voice or emotions. She was more inclined towards musical theater, where her voice could stand out in a unique manner. Musicals allowed her to express herself through vibrant, uplifting songs that brought her joy and made her feel truly comfortable. Julie's voice started to change as she got older, like many singers do. Her high notes became harder to reach as her upper range got smaller. Even though she couldn't sing the high notes as well, her middle range became more beautiful and full. People were moved by the golden warmth in her voice. Her new sound still had the same beauty and charm as before. Although it didn't have as many high notes, it was deeper and more mature, but still lovely in its way. The change in her voice didn't diminish her talent. It enhanced it. She now sang with emotion that came from experience, making her performances even more unique. Julie prefers singing cheerful songs that match her personality and voice well. She doesn't like performing sad songs or anything in a minor key because they feel too heavy and emotional for her. She worries that getting too emotionally invested in those songs could harm her voice. Julie aims to maintain her voice's strength and stability, so she avoids songs that make her feel overwhelmed while singing. This was another reason why she never pursued a career in opera. Opera often features emotional and tragic tales. The music can be intense and full of sadness, which didn't align with Julie's intentions for her music. Instead of conveying sorrow, she wanted to bring happiness to her audience through her singing. Her goal was to uplift spirits and spread joy, rather than evoke tears. Her passion for music stemmed from a place of joy, and she aimed to maintain that joyful feeling every time she sang. Throughout the ups and downs of her voice and career, Julie always stayed authentic to herself. She knew what worked best for her voice and character, and she pursued that direction gracefully. Could this be the reason behind the challenges she later encountered? Julie Andrews is most famous for her roles as Mary Poppins and Maria in The Sound of Music. Her singing voice and bright smile brought happiness to many people. However, not many know about the difficult times she faced in her personal life. Julie Andrews was known for being elegant and kind. She kept her private life private and didn't seek attention when not on screen. Occasionally, she would talk about the challenges she faced, like her struggles with infertility and miscarriages, which were particularly heartbreaking for her. In 1969, Julie married director Blake Edwards. They both had children from previous relationships, Julie's daughter Emma and Blake's 2 children. They hoped to expand their family but faced heartbreak as Julie suffered multiple miscarriages. Only one miscarriage has been mentioned publicly, but there may have been more. Julie carried this quiet pain with grace. It is hard to picture someone who is typically happy and positive as going through such sadness while still smiling. Even though she didn't openly express her pain, that doesn't mean she wasn't hurting. Dealing with personal hardships revealed another side to her character. She was not just a famous person, but also a woman who faced heartbreaking situations with grace. After facing tough times, Julie and Blake made a courageous and heartwarming choice. In the 1970s, they decided to bring home 2 young girls from Vietnam, named Amy and Joanna. These girls were not infants, but rather young children in need of care and protection. Julie mentioned that they didn't just adopt the girls, but also found solace in each other. This decision was not a backup plan, but a deliberate and loving choice to create a family. Julie kept her miscarriages private because it wasn't common for people to discuss such personal matters openly at that time. Women were encouraged to keep their personal losses to themselves. However, simply acknowledging her experience was a brave and truthful gesture, demonstrating her compassion, resilience, and providing solace to other women who shared the same experience. Years after, Julie encountered another significant setback in her life. Then, in the late 1990s, a life-altering event occurred that would once again disrupt her life. This time, the issue didn't involve her family, but rather her voice. During the year 1997, Julie underwent what was believed to be a standard surgical procedure. She had non-cancerous nodules on her vocal cords, a common occurrence in singers. These nodules can impact one's voice, but the surgery to eliminate them is typically uncomplicated and safe. Julie thought she would get better quickly and be able to sing again, but the surgery ended up causing lasting harm to her vocal cords. Her voice, which used to cover 4 octaves, disappeared entirely. This loss was especially difficult for her because music had always been a huge part of her life. Her voice wasn't just a voice. It was a big part of who she was. She initially had hope that things would get better. She attempted therapy and waited for time to heal her. Unfortunately, nothing helped, and her voice never came back. She later described losing her voice as a devastating feeling. Julie sued the doctors for malpractice, and the lawsuit was resolved. However, no legal decision could ease the emotional impact of the situation. Fans all over the world were devastated. They had listened to her music while growing up. It was more than just songs. It was a cause of comfort. And now, that voice was no longer there. However, Julie refused to become unnoticed. She refused to allow this defeat to shape her. She discovered different methods to continue producing, motivating, and connecting with others. She starred in movies such as The Princess Diaries, portraying Queen Clarice with calm knowledge. Despite her inability to sing, her influence remained strong.